This video will be a little different to my usual content of art tips and tutorials. Today I'm going to be giving you an insight to my art desk setup and show you how I go about filming and photographing my content for this channel and for my Instagram account. I will also be giving you ideas throughout the video and about how to create art and manage working in such a small space. I hope you enjoy this content, and if you like looking through other creators' art spaces and getting tips on organisation, then this will be relevant for you. If you don't know me, my name is Ellie and I share art tips and tutorials to get you creating, while my regular videos do. A bit of context around my art space. Firstly is that it's very small, so it's a pretty quick and cosy tour. It's also quite a new space, as I've just recently returned to creating art consistently in the past 3 months or so. I took a break for 6 years while I studied to become an art teacher at a university and developing my skills as an educator. So let's have a look through. To start, here is an overview of my small art desk and space. I live with my husband in a 1-bedroom apartment, so this is what I have for now. It's cozy, light, and a nice spot to return to every day. I've put a couple of small artworks up in my view line, and this brings me to my first tip. Number 1 is to keep artworks on the wall in view, even small ones like I have here that you enjoy to look at and that inspire you. It not only gives you something pleasant to view each day, but also helps you with your ideas, whether it be subject matter, the technique the artist has used, or even the colour palette. Here I store a few pieces of coloured card that I use for the background of YouTube videos and social media posts. I prefer a bit of colour rather than the harsher orange values that come through from my wooden desk. These just slide into a small section underneath the tabletop, which is easy and accessible. I also have here a variety of pens, fine liners, with tips of the thickness that I use the most, a moldable eraser, watercolour paintbrushes and graphite pencils, as I use these most days, and I intentionally have them here on the top of my workspace. So tip number 2 is to ensure the materials that you are working with or intend to work with are easy to access, so either on your desk or in a drawer. This sounds pretty self-explanatory, however if you are someone who may struggle to get started or motivated to use the materials, then having them in your view gives you that constant reminder every time you walk past. It's similar to what they say about yummy snacks or treats. Never leave them in your sight of view on the kitchen bench or you will gobble them up in no time. Under here, I have 2 small drawers in my desk which I keep reference photos that I've taken, hard drives with photos on, some writing paper, and other art materials that I use regularly, such as fine liners and more pencils. The other drawer, I have charcoal, acrylic inks, some gloss medium, and important papers that I need on hand. This brings me to idea number 3. Have a spot for each item you own and put it away after you are finished with it for the day. This is something I still need to remind myself of consistently, as I just love sitting down at least once a day to a clear space ready to create. I do believe the saying, a clear space, a clear mind. Let me know if you agree. If you work in a small space like this, then you will actually find that it doesn't take much for your desk to appear very cluttered. This will also help you keep your art and surfaces as clean as possible. There have been a few times that I haven't cleaned up some paint I was using, dipped my arm in the paint accidentally, then got it all over the new drawing I was working on. This also means emptying any painting water and cleaning up your paint palette after finishing with it for the day. I have a small shelf under my table here, which I put a mini tripod, great for watching YouTube on my phone of course, and my coloured pencils, which I haven't been using so much lately. Another tip is to use accessible storage space to store any equipment or materials that you don't use regularly. Depending on the setup you have, this may be right near your desk or in a cupboard or in a shelf in another room. I haven't shown it here due to the miscellaneous household items, but as I have various material and mediums in the hallway cupboard. When you do need something from the storage space, simply swap it over with something that you no longer are using in your desk drawers or the materials that you've kept on hand. To film footage or shoot photographs of my artworks in the process, I predominantly use the small camera and lighting setup I have here. The camera is a Canon EOS M50, fairly inexpensive and pretty good for filming content. The light ring I purchased from Amazon for about $200 Australian. It's the Embella 19-inch camera ring. It's great because it gives you the option to use more of a white or a yellow colour hue and enables me to film or photograph any time of day, no matter the weather outside. When showcasing my content, it's important that there is no specks of dust or hairs in the images. That is why tip number 5 is to wipe down and vacuum around your art space regularly. This means removing the layer of dust, any animal hair, food crumbs, etc. that has built up from previous days. This not only makes a difference to your content when photographing it or filming for a video, because of course you wouldn't want to show that in your footage, but also it gives you that willingness or internal motivation to work within the space. Similar to what I've been mentioning previously, cleanliness helps keep the mind calm and you ready for creating. Of course, you might be someone who works really well with having all sorts of small trinkets and bits and pieces around you, but just try to make sure that you keep it clean and dust-free. I really hope that you have enjoyed this short and concise art desk tour, coupled with tips to ensure that you can effectively create and showcase your art in a small space. Please give me a big thumbs up and click the like button. That really helps support me and my channel. Also ensure you click on the subscribe button with the notification bell on for future art tips and art tutorials to get you creating. I really look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.